When I do say Bollywood, what is the first thing that comes to both of your minds?
It sounds cringe, but I literally think of like Kajol and Shah Rukh Khan in like Yellow Fields.
For me, it taught me so much about what Bollywood was, that one film.
But do you think there's any ways how Bollywood stands out?
Bollywood was definitely the place to be and the space to be.
Yeah. But is that not realistic?
I think a big part as well for me is skin tone. In Bollywood, everybody is fair. And I don't think that's okay.
Are they just trying to do it for a quick reel, basically?
Like thinking, oh, I've just gone and said, like, yeah, Bollywood's on the rise again. Is it though?
Yeah. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Pan India Project. My name is Rohan, and some of you may know me as the Indian cinema junkie. And for today's episode, we're talking about the Bollywood industry. And in the studio today, we have Jasmine and Natasha, aka Filmwaalis. Welcome to the Pan India Project. How are you both?
Good, how are you?
Good. Excited?
Yeah, very excited.
This is our first podcast together,
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah,
Nice.
this is a big moment for Filmwaalis.
Yep. And it's all going to be about Bollywood. So
Exactly.
When
Our
I
one
s-
and true love.
yes. So when I do say Bollywood, what is the first thing that comes to both of your minds?
That's hard.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like I have. It sounds cringe, but I literally think of like Kajol and Shah Rukh Khan in like
Yeah.
Yellow Fields, or I'll think of like Sri Devi in a little like sari and in the mountains in my head. Like when someone says Bollywood, like what's the first thing you think of? That would be it.
Yeah.
I'd say like something similar, and I probably would associate it to just like my childhood.
Yeah.
Like literally sitting in front of a TV, like watching movies that you've seen like a couple times, like Gabhi Khushi Gabhi Gum, but never getting bored of it, and you're just like, let me watch this again and again and again.
I think Bollywood means like something different to everyone, right? Like it's that nostalgic
Yeah.
thing, and
Exactly,
it takes you back to like your childhood, and just
Yeah.
like watching Bollywood films with like your family. It just
Yeah.
takes you to like a different time. I feel.
yeah.
A place of like naivety, innocence, where you didn't really understand hidden meanings behind certain things in films. Or like, you know, when people will always say like, oh, you know, songs nowadays or Bollywood nowadays is not as innocent as it was back then. I don't think it was innocent back
No,
then.
yeah, like some of the songs, yeah.
It was hidden. And you were just a child and you didn't
You didn't know.
realise.
Well, all those Imran Hashmi films.
Oh
hey,
my
like-
God, honestly.
They were the first ones.
Yeah.
But so where did you both like fall in love with Bollywood? What was like your first moments?
Okay, so I feel like the first movie I ever watched was Kaho Na Pyar Hai.
Okay.
Hrithik Roshan, which was also his debut film. And I have like a really distinct memory of watching that on my TV, and like it was a video cassette back then. It wasn't like, you know, even a DVD or anything. But
so old.
I know.
Video cassette.
We're really like aging
What's one
ourselves
of
here. But I feel like the first time that I truly fell in love with Bollywood was probably more around when I was like 5 or 6 years old. And then that's when I was rewatching Gabhi Khushi Gabhi Gum quite a bit. And Viva. Jasmine knows this. But for me, it was Viva. It was that Poonam and like,
I can't
and
with that
Prem,
film.
like combo. I just like, yeah, absolutely love that film. And I think for me, it was... It taught me so much about what Bollywood was, that one film. It was like, again, the innocence of it at that age, and like the romance and the family element. And I think it's fine. You can't see yourself represented at that age, apart from just the fact that, you know, there are brown faces on a screen.
Exactly.
But it's the fact that there's like the family element, and then you have like the romance to look forward to and all of that. So I think that was the film that I really fell in love with.
But it's also, I know you're saying you don't feel represented when you're that age, but for like people who grow up in England, right, and never been to India before, like that's really, films was like our only connection to back home. Like I didn't know what Punjab looked like until I watched Veer Zara, do you know what I mean? So it was that like connection.
Yeah,
True.
it was our gateway to like India. And
It
stuff.
teaches you so much
Yeah.
about your, like, as you say, your ethnicity, your culture, your background, because it's not even just from a language perspective. It's like clothing, you know, the country, food,
music.
music. There's so much to it. And I think, as you say, like growing up in a country outside of South Asia, like wherever you're from, it teaches you so much about your roots.
Yeah. No, I get that. But do you think there's any ways where like how Bollywood stands out or is different to like other industries in the Indian cinema? You know, you have like South, which is quite like erotic, like star idolization. Like, what do you think some differences would be?
I think Bollywood has just got the big ass budgets,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah,
it's got,
that's true, yeah.
they have the money
Definitely.
for all the sets and stuff. I mean, I can't speak for like all Indian industries.
Yeah.
The only cinema I really watch outside of Bollywood in terms of Indian cinema is Punjabi film,
Yeah.
and I think it's just incomparable.
No,
like
yeah.
the Bollywood has had so many years to flourish. It's been around since like the 40s. So they're at a much later stage
Yeah.
in terms of their development
Yeah.
compared to like other Indian cinema, right? With Punjabi cinema, it's very oversaturated with comedy, and that's about it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Bollywood has a lot more variety and it's had time to flourish. But having said that, like regional cinema is growing so much now. I think give it a few more years and it will be on par.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think even like to your point about South Indian cinema, right? Like that's also rising now. Like all of the
Yes.
Bollywood stars want to go
Yeah.
to South India to do films and stuff as well. So I think it is a case of like, fine, Bollywood was definitely the place to be and the space to be.
Yeah.
Even not even 5 years ago, like maybe 10 years ago, right? But like I think recently, as Jazz says, like regional cinema is growing really more than anything.
Yeah, and in terms of like portrayal of people, because like obviously in the South, men they look up to them like gods, literally,
yeah.
like star idolization. But in Bollywood, do you think that's not there as much? Like maybe a little bit, but not to a crazy extent.
No, I'd still say it's there.
Yeah.
I mean, Shah Rukh Khan, Salman
Yeah.
Khan, Amitabh Bachchan,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
three, I would say like people really look up to them.
I
Yeah.
mean, like
as
you got
gods.
people still outside
Yeah.
of like Shah Rukh Khan's house every
Yeah,
day.
exactly. And like every Sunday or something, Amitabh Bachchan comes out to wave everybody in the morning. So yeah, I would still say like you still have that idealization of Bollywood stars. Fine, maybe it's not happening with the younger generation as much. But you know, I actually heard an interview with Alia Bhatt recently, and maybe it was Alia or somebody else, but they were talking about how Ranbir Kapoor is not on social media and the reasoning behind this. And they were essentially saying that the reason he chooses not to be a public account on social media, because apparently he has a hidden account or something, right? But a public account is because he thinks that by giving somebody too much, by somebody I mean an audience, too much access to an actor's life, you're making them too relatable and you're making them feel like too in touch. So then you're not putting them on a pedestal, right?
I
You're
actually
not
get that.
right,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
makes sense. And I think it's like even with what's the Pakistani actress Hania
Amir.
yeah. Love her, so relatable. But it is that thing of you then feel like, oh, she could be your friend next door,
Yeah.
and you're not seeing her as somebody like a Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, right? I mean, I guess it completely depends on the actor, their preference, like what they're trying to achieve with their long-term career aspirations. But I think that's probably why we can't idealize actors the way that maybe our parents did for a Shah Rukh Khan or Salman Khan, because they're so in touch with because of social media, right?
Yeah, and coming back to like that kind of representation, do you
Yeah.
think in Bollywood they don't look like the common man? You see them all like chiseled up, and
Yeah.
the way they look, make like especially the heroes, you know, they like chiseled up, work in the gym, and then kind of show that off. But is that not realistic? Like, what do you both think?
Yeah, to be honest, when I think of the most beautiful Bollywood women that I know, it's the ones that are from like the 80s
Yeah.
who are like curvy. They're not like the ones that you see nowadays, which are like ripped, have 8 packs or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think there are
Yeah.
unrealistic body standards. I don't know how you feel.
No, I completely agree. I think, as you say, that was like in the 80s, 90s, and then suddenly like the 2000s hit, and then it went into this unrealistic expectation
like
of
size 0.
exactly, and all of this. I'd probably say like there are a few actors and actresses which I think are trying to break down those boundaries. That sounds rude because I'm not trying to say they're not like a rip or anything, but they're trying to have conversations about the importance of not being a size 0 and not being picture perfect 24/7. Like Prajakta Kohli, right? She's from that TV show, series on Netflix, Mismatched.
Okay.
She mentioned it recently. It received a bit of controversy in the podcast because she was speaking to Pariniti Chopra, and I don't think she phrased it in the best way, but she basically implied to her like, I feel like I'm represented from seeing myself in you because you're ordinary looking, or whatever the word that she said was. I appreciate she didn't mean it so hard, like the way it came out. But I think her point was valid. Like, her point was, it's nice sometimes to have like a girl next door kind of vibe, rather than always a insane cheekbones and insane jawline and like a size 0 kind of girl on screen. So I think, maybe like conversations are happening, but in terms of that representation, it's yet to be seen. I think a big part as well for me is skin tone. Like, that's a big part. Like, I don't think it's in Bollywood, everybody is fair. And I don't think that's okay. I think, you know, it's always like, look, I love Viva, but that was a problematic movie when it came to skin tone, okay? It was like, Amrita Rao is stunning because she's fair, but her sister is ugly because she's dark. And fine, the message was trying to show, like, you know, that's not an ideal situation, but it's a very prominent topic in Indian society as a whole, right? Like, just generally what happens in South Asia. And I think in terms of movies, unfortunately, that change still hasn't happened. It's always fair ladies. Whereas if we look at like Hollywood and the Western world in terms of movies, when you think about Indian actresses, it's never a fair lady normally, right? Yeah. Like the women are actually quite dark in terms of skin tone. So it's like, when the Western world can support that and like understand the importance of representation in terms of that variety of skin tones, why is Bollywood still so hell-bent and only kind of pushing fair ladies? So I think that's like a big thing for me in terms of like the visual of what we're seeing on cinema as well.
I do think that's changing though with streaming platforms. I think like in recent years, the films that are doing well are things like 12th Fail, Lapata Ladies. It's not those A-list. They're doing well because they don't have those A-list celebs anymore, and they have actors and actresses that look very normal, showcasing stories which are very normal. They're not very like outlandish as the typical Bollywood ones are. So I think that would change in the next few years.
And coming back to like you're saying how it's changed in that sense, but do you think now in today's world it's more about the content? Like maybe like in like 20 odd years, people would only go for the actor mainly, right? It is still happening today, but do you think people are looking for like good content now?
Nadania.
I don't know. I think the first thing to mention is because of streaming platforms that there's an overwhelming amount of content, right? So we have like so much at our hands now, at our disposal in terms of like what we want to watch. Like, we can go to a Prime, we can go to a Netflix, we can go to an Apple TV. Like, there's just so much. I think in terms of wanting to go to watch a movie because of who's in it, again, for me, I feel like the only people who hold that power is somebody like a Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan and Salman Khan. I think like Sikandar is coming out in a few weeks, right, with Salman Khan. I can guarantee you right now that's going to do amazing because Salman Khan is in it. It might not be a great movie, let's see, but either way, it will do well.
And it will get so much love. Like, I don't understand
the
how.
fan, the Salman Khan fan, yeah, his big comeback film, hey?
Exactly. So I think that goes without saying, but again, I think the younger generation, people are being more selective. Like, no matter how much Alia is loved, I don't think people will watch an Alia film just because it's an Alia film. I think they'll watch it if they think this is of interest to me. Like, if it's a film being shown in cinema, they'll think, is this of interest to me? If so, I'll go in the cinema. But if not, I'll just wait for it to come on a streaming platform. So I don't think, again, the younger generation hold the same power that maybe the Khans did, right?
And how else do you think like the Bollywood industry has evolved like over the years? Like, do you see any changes that have happened?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think we went through like a period, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but we went through a period maybe between 2015 and 2022, like towards the end of COVID, where it was falling a bit flat. I would like to say and think, though, that we're slowly back on the rise, excluding that. Like, okay, exception. We're slowly back on the rise because we have stuff like 12th Fail, Lapata Ladies, and I think Bollywood is now understanding the importance of telling stories that haven't been told before.
Yeah, and covering like social topics as well. Like, we didn't really have that. Yeah,
exactly. I think there was a period where everybody was a bit lost, like not knowing what was happening. But I'd like to think that it's back on the rise again, and I think it's normal right, for industries to go through those periods and to almost find new talent with new voices. So yeah, that's what I'd probably say. I'd like to think we're back on the rise, but let's see.
Yeah, because I mean, back then, like what, in the 2000s, 2010s, it was more like family friendly, right? Would you say? Like,
I was just gonna say this. Yeah, like I think Bollywood now, it's just, I don't know if it's like an unpopular opinion, but I hate how sexualized it is.
It's so true.
I miss just like being able to watch a film with like my grandparents and not having to quickly flick it off. Like, imagine watching like Gehraya with your Nani Ji. Like, I feel like Bollywood used to be about like family friendly stories, right?
Bollywood is not helping this narrative, because if we look at Tripti Dimri,
Yeah.
I feel bad for the poor girl, right? Okay.
That dance move is just in my head. You know the one.
Oh yeah, Mere Me Boom one. Yeah, just like
why are you shaking your hips like that, hun? Please, okay. But honestly, I would say like poor girl, because she is so talented as an actress, and I just feel because of that one movie, Animal, boom, let's sexualize her for like 500 movies now for the next whatever is left of her career, right?
Yeah.
So it is a shame.
But back then, do you think there were films like Animal going around or not really? Because then maybe that's another way they've changed. They're trying to do a bit more controversy now.
I think with Animal, though, it comes back because they're like going to do a sequel. Maybe it'll become a trilogy. They're trying to make it a bit more Marvel-y. Because they're doing that even with like Ekta Tiger.
Yeah, see.
They're all linking to the movies.
See, that's another thing with Bollywood, right? Franchises nowadays is the biggest thing that they have. Back then, there was no franchise.
Exactly.
Like, you're not going to see like a Sholay or Ram Lakhan get sequels or turn into universe. But now,
exactly.
horror universe,
it's like Pathaan
universe
was joining in the Ekta Tiger. I was like, what is happening here?
Yeah. That's a big change. But do you think it's just like a cash cow, basically?
Yeah, I think when like they found a formula that works, they'll just keep recreating those same stories. But I just don't think that, like, why are they making an Ashki 3? Like, you don't need to touch that.
True.
Yeah, agreed.
I think filmmakers are scared to use their budgets on new ideas that might flop, right? So they're recreating the things that have already worked well, but I just don't think that's even working.
No.
Where do we go from here?
Because the horror universe has done really well, right? I mean, but how many...
Do you think, though? I think it's still very fresh. Because when you're talking about horror, you're talking about Stree.
Yeah. So it's horror comedy, right?
It's true, but I think it's done well because we have nothing like it.
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
We're very limited on those films, right? I mean, even then, Boom Balaya 3 had a push.
Yeah, it did so well at the box office. Even the film was alright, but it was decent. But I was like, they're loving that type of genre at the moment. We had like Munji as well last year.
Yes, yeah.
So that whole...
So this genre, is why I feel like Bollywood needs to realize, okay, this is what's working. Let's continue. Which is why I think it is on the rise again in terms of Bollywood, because they're starting to catch on to, okay, what is the next decade going to look like? Like, what is doing well? Like, where is the industry heading? And I think there was that period where there was a bit of confusion as to what was happening. But the same thing kind of applies though, right? When you think about 2000s and why we love it because it's family friendly, fine, it takes us back to our childhood and all of that. But I'm sure people who grew up in the 80s probably then in their 20s looking at the 2000s were like,
what is this?
Why is Bollywood like this?
Yeah.
Every generation is going to go through this. I think nobody's ever going to be fully satisfied, right? But I think it's just important that no matter what time period you're in, you always bring fresh and new content and ideas, right?
But I do think Bollywood has lost its magic.
Yeah,
it
kind of has.
In the past 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd say only Rocky or Rani has like actually made me
that
really
took us back.
excited. Like apart from that film, I don't think there's. I don't know. It's just
it's a bit dry, isn't it? Now, like I'm just thinking, like if we didn't have Jawan Pathan, I mean, what would be left? Like obviously, had Animal and Gadda too, but
in
even then,
terms of
like,
what it was,
like money, even money wise, like how the Indian Bollywood economy is gone.
But to me, like when I watched those films, I was sad because like the three Khans, they're just even their films aren't the same anymore. Everyone loved those films because Shah Rukh Khan, like
comeback,
anything he did,
3 years, but however long.
like, come on, those films they were nowhere near the level of like Mehuna.
Yeah.
All those.
Mehuna too, though.
Well,
I'm scared. I'm really scared.
But then do you think it's the commercialization as well? Because now they're trying to probably cater to everyone, whereas maybe back then they were just like catering towards like us.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Do you think that's what's changed now as well?
I don't think they are trying to cater for everyone.
Still,
I think, especially with the rise of like patriotic films, there's such a push around, very nationalistic ones. That's not inclusive of like the whole of India, right? Like I feel so uncomfortable watching films like that. What was the Deepika one that you watched?
Fighter.
There was that
Fighter.
one. There was Fighter at the end of that with Hrithik Roshan as well. Like, I'm sorry, I think some of the language used, exactly. Like it's honestly awful. Like how they think it's okay to make statements like that.
But that's the thing with Bollywood. I think there's a big template that they've been used for even years before, right?
Yeah.
India, Pakistan. That's like the biggest.
But I think more so recently.
Do you think more now?
Like say if there was a Veera Zara created today, I don't think it would do well.
Yeah.
No,
you know what? That's actually so true.
Yeah.
I can understand that point. I think it's difficult as well because I think there's still like a lack of alignment between
the two,
all the creators in the industry at present. So you will have an animal and you will have a 12th fail, and it's like one is for and one is against patriarchy, and it's just a bit confusing then as a viewer, because it feels like you're making 5 steps forward but then you're taking 10 steps back.
It cancels out.
Yeah, exactly. And I always have this this thing in my head, right? Controversial. I liked Kabir Singh. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was valid. Yeah, I'll take. Yeah,
right.
that's fine.
I did like the movie.
But do you feel guilty saying that?
I feel so guilty. So guilty saying it. When somebody asked me, I'm like, yeah, like, it was okay. I like the music.
You have to like suss like what their opinion of the film is.
Exactly. But I think the way I'm justifying it in my head is I know that enjoying a movie is not going to change my morals or values, because I'm not that impressionable from a movie to be like, oh fine, like now I condone X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, exactly.
But unfortunately, we can't deny that there is a portion of the audience, pretty large portion, who will literally watch these films, like Animal and Kabir Singh, and be like, yes, like, Mardania, like, let's go for it. It's like, no, hon, like, pipe down. Like, that's not okay. But, like, I think it's stuff like that where I'm a bit, should we be condoning the creation of films like this going forward? Because there is, a portion of the audience which is very impressionable, unfortunately. And I think it's literally the director of Kabir Singh as well. When he does interviews, he
he doesn't do himself justice.
He's not saying like, oh, like this is not okay, etc. What's the guy from You called? Dan Humphrey, Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. I don't know his name. So You obviously, the guy's like a stalker, like, not great. He did an interview, I think it was on Jimmy Fallon, but he very clearly said, look, I find it really hard to comprehend why people are like glamorizing my character and they're thinking it's okay what he's doing. So I think it's so important that actors can also see like, look, this is my job. I'm playing a role, but I'm not trying to glamorize it. Yeah. I'm trying to say that this is my character, this is my job. And when an audience glamorizes the character, it is slightly concerning. And he had a valid point. He said, I'm a white male. If this was played by a black actor or an Asian actor, would he be glamorized? Yeah.
It'd be hate.
Exactly. So that is such a valid point in the Western world of Hollywood, etc. But looking at Bollywood, I think when we glamorize it, it is the whole team of that film, directors, script writers, actors, it's their responsibility when they're promoting the film to not glamorize it, right? To say like, look, this is a story. We're telling a story. And then in that case, it'd be okay to continue creating content like that. But when you're glamorizing it, like in an Animal, and you're like, oh, Arjun, well, leave it. Like, no, okay. That's not okay in my opinion.
It goes back to that thing that we were talking about earlier about Indian audiences though, right? Like we do look up to film characters. And we glamorize them so much. and put them on a pedestal compared to
the normal,
like with Hollywood.
Yeah. But
it's you know, like in DDLJ. Okay, I'm not trying to ruin the film for us, guys. Like, I'm really, really not. But when a guy is pestering a girl again and again and again after she says no multiple times, that's not okay. It's not okay.
But Amitabh Bachchan, so going back to the no means no, Amitabh Bachchan clearly said that in Pink. Like, if anyone remembers, literally, he said no.
No means no.
So there's different films that teach you different stuff. But going back to the Kabir Singh thing, films like Kabir Singh and Animal, people go and watch in the cinema because they take a lot of money.
They do.
Like, whatever film Sandeep Reddy-Wanga will do next, will take even more money. I think I'm not sure. Maybe the original Kabir Singh did well as well, but like the controversial topics are working in today's world.
Was it Vijay who did the South
Vijay
Indian?
Deverakonda,
Fine. So on a Coffee with Karan episode, it was Ananya Pandey who said, like, look, I can understand why actors, you know, I don't think she said I could understand. I think it was more a case of, look, films like this get made, fine. She said, but I personally would never want to be a part of a film like this. She says, because I can understand the social impact. And again, it's because it was, I mean, Kabir's character in Kabir Singh in Arjun Reddy, was it called?
Yeah, as well, yeah.
They are glamorized, full stop. But as you say, people will still go to the cinema to watch them. And I think it's fine because, like, we like the film as well. So it's fine. But it just comes down to, I think, team's responsibility to not glamorize it and to be careful about films like Kabir Singh going forward. Like, there needs to be an element of, when they're doing the script, how do we make sure that we're highlighting clearly his behavior is not okay. Like, for him to slap Priti and Priti to be like, oh, I still love you. No, like, that needs to change.
I think there needs to be like an awareness of the audience you're catering to, right? Like, if there was an animal made in Hollywood, no one would give them as much slack, right? No. It would be just like, okay, it's just an entertaining film. But when it's created for the Indian audience, because issues like gender inequality are so prevalent in our culture, then there needs to be that boundary of like, okay, this behavior is not okay in real life, right?
Yeah, but I mean, do you think like that's kind of a trend now, but do you think there's any other like trends that are going on in Bollywood, especially like
at present?
Yeah, at present.
I mean, I feel like we've all seen like the whole remaking of songs.
Yes. Oh my god, this never stopped.
It never stopped.
Never stopped.
But I saw a hilarious TikTok yesterday, which was like in Nadania, like they have a song where it's like "Tere get the dhoom." It's like really weird.
Yeah.
And they were like, if this is what Bollywood is creating in terms of original songs, then please remake.
I'd rather have the remake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
remakes.
I think that's a big thing. And again, it's like, just stop.
Yeah.
We're into a new phase, like just focus on new songs.
But I think in recent years it's just create a good like number song, and then it doesn't matter what the film's like as long as you've got a great song. They'll just slap a good song onto any film, then everyone's excited to watch it, and then you see the film and it's crap.
Because item songs are still going on today. I mean, like, is it Hayama was one recently?
Yeah.
So that's still a trend.
Again, it received controversy though, not just because it was an item song, but because she's a kid. She's 19 years old, right? Yeah. Like, she is a child. Fine, a very pretty child, but she's still a child.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, again, I have mixed emotions when it comes to item numbers because, again, we've grown up on them. Like, there is that nostalgic feeling of, like, Shilaki Javani, Munni Badnaam.
Some of them can be good, like Chikni Chameli.
Yeah, they're great songs, but again, I think it comes down to, is it, when we really take a step back and we think about the social impact, is it okay to sexualize women? No. How does that song fit into that movie? Are they being portrayed in a nice way or in a very sexualized, like, bad way? And again, it's just like, should we be continuing with this or not, no matter how much we like it?
Yeah. And going like continuing on with the songs, like, do you think the dance things changed? Because like now you've had like Toba Toba and like Bulbulaya Free. Like, are they just trying to do it for a quick reel, basically?
100%.
Is that what they're trying to do now?
Yeah, like trends. Social media trend. Like, as long as they've got a good, hook step.
Yeah, exactly.
They're fine, right?
110%. I think, it was Badsha actually when I interviewed him like over 2.5 years ago.
When I interviewed Badsha.
Badsha, my bestie. He made like such a valid point though, and that's like always stuck with me in my head. He said, as creatives, it's our responsibility to like always remember like why we enjoy doing what we do. Like if you're a dancer, you dance because you enjoy the art. If you're a singer, you enjoy the art. If you're a rapper, you enjoy the art. Actor, etc. But nobody can deny the power of social media and the power of reach, and that is the best way to get to your audience, right? So in terms of like a Toba, yeah, like they're just doing the hook step for a reel. Fine, it's valid. Like that is the case, and it's needed sometimes, right? Like it has to happen. But when it comes down to the reasoning for you creating that song and you creating that choreography, that should not be the first thing in your head. You should remember like what you love about dance or like, you know, as an art form, etc. Then think about like, okay, like I also need to create some content. It's the same thing here, right? Like we're all talking, we all love Indian cinema, we all love creating content, etc. But afterwards, we will think about what is the best clip for social media, what is going to help, you know, and all of that. It will happen. It's natural, but that's not our purpose for coming together. And I think it's the same thing there. It's like I can't like fault people for wanting to do a hook step or whatever because it happens.
But with Doba, like I don't know if you saw Good News too.
Yeah, bad news.
Good news, bad news, bad news. Yeah, it was
bad.
It was okay.
So
The first one was much better.
First one was good.
Yeah,
like
that was really fun.
Yeah.
But when there's so much hype on social media with Toba, you get so gassed to watch a movie, and then it's such a letdown when you actually see it and the content's so awful.
Yeah, and that goes along with the whole franchise thing, all right? Because technically it was part of a franchise, so people were keen, especially on how well the first one did. Then you're like, okay, then maybe the second one might just be like that.
Then that makes no sense to me because I'm like, you're not even continuing.
Oh, and it's just a side
with
story.
the actors though. Like none of them, they've all changed, right? You've got Ami Virk, Vicky Kaushal, Philip, like none of them are the same.
Exactly.
So then is it really a franchise? You're just creating a new movie.
Yeah, and slap the same name on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, like another trend I think that's happened literally in the last 6 months in Bollywood, re-releases. Like,
really?
There have been so many re-releases now, like Sanam Teri Kasam just got
fine,
released.
I'm with
like
you.
older films that are getting pushed
Yeah.
like in today's
Yeah.
now.
Why is that?
I have no idea.
I think they've seen the success of what it can do in the south, right?
Yeah.
Like there was a Tamil film,
Fine.
Vijay's film Gilly in the beginning of last year, which did really well. And I think there might have been one like a Mahesh Babu film or something before that. But I think they've seen how well
That's
those
doing.
are doing and how they're killing it. So they thought they'll try. Like,
You see what I mean though? Like Bollywood is literally mimicking.
exactly.
the South, yeah.
Basically.
It's so strange. I know. It's what's strange though is that some of those films that never became blockbusters when they first came out are doing so much better in the
Now-
re-releases. Like what's that Tripti one that came
Layla
out?
Majnu.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I never heard of that film until the past year.
Yeah.
But I think going back to that one, someone said there was like this roundtable discussion on like YouTube or
I love those.
someone said that I reckon. So basically, they said that was because of Tripti and she had Animal, which
Oh, interesting.
is I can see that. I mean, I haven't seen the film, so but
What, Layla Majnu?
yeah, so I don't know how well it's received, but but that could have helped as well. I mean, like Sanam Teri Kasam's done so well recently as well.
Yeah.
But that's been I think that was a good film. Like I saw it on the plane a while ago.
Yeah.
But I think
I need to watch that. I haven't seen it. I've heard
me
good
too.
things.
it's definitely worth watching. I think it does help though. I mean, we get our dose of nostalgia as well, right?
It's true. I mean, honestly, like I can't understand the reasoning behind it other than they've just kind of like realized like, okay, these films are doing well, like, you know, or did well, like let's bring
Try
them out
and push
again,
it
whatever.
out.
But then it comes back to the point of we won't be seeing more new content, new stories. Like, should we really be pushing old stuff? Like, we should be pushing new stuff as well. I think also like when I think about some of the new movies that are old movies that are re-releasing in cinemas, there's a few that Ranbir Kapoor mentioned that did really badly in the box office that have done really well recently. And I'm trying to remember which like they were now, but I want to say it was like maybe, I don't know, Wake Up Sid. I want to say like maybe stuff like that like are now doing better.
Yeah.
Maybe another reason though is because streaming has become so popular, right? People probably miss the experience of actually going to
watch
cinema.
the old film in the cinema as well.
It's that thing of like going with your friends to watch one of your favorite films.
And the newer films are not doing that well now as well. So maybe that's why. Because if Chava did really well, but other than that,
That did so well.
That no other like Baby John
Yeah.
like kind of went down the drain.
Yeah.
Also like Deva Shahid Kapoor's one, another one that despite how good the films are, they just people are not watching it, so they're more likely to go and watch an older film as well.
Yeah.
But saying that, remakes, like we talked about song remakes, now movie remakes is still going on in like 2025. We're in like would you think
Deva was a remake of a South Indian film.
Yeah, Malayalam film.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I didn't realize how many Bollywood
remade?
films are remakes
Yeah.
of films from the South.
yeah, Gajni, Tere Naam
so
with Salman
crazy.
Khan, Wanted.
Yes.
Ajay Devgan's had God knows how many remakes at this point. Singham, the whole of
God, yeah.
Singham
that was
is
one I found out about recently.
Yeah, Singham. The list. I don't think Shah Rukh's. I don't know if everyone will correct us in the comment. I think Shah Rukh's one of the few actors that
Hasn't done
done-
like
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It could be. I mean, again, it's like it comes back to that point of though. Then like it's concerning. Now I'm like thinking, oh, I've just gone and said like, yeah, Bollywood's on the rise again. Is it though? Are we just copying?
But I think back then remakes were kind of valid in the sense there was no OTT platform, so the
Yeah.
only way you could watch it is either you go and watch it in that original language, which it is better,
Yeah.
or there's no other way. Like you have to wait until it's on DVD or
Yeah.
dubbed, right? So I guess back then remakes are valid, but now there's no excuse,
Yeah,
right?
people can just watch the original, so why would they want to
'Cause
watch the remake?
I think there was this rumor going around that Maharaja was going to be
Yes.
remade in Hindi with Amir Khan, and then in my head, I was like, "What the hell?" Because why?
Yeah.
And also on Netflix, it's already in Hindi, so there's no
Yeah.
point. Like remakes just like need to kind of stop now.
Yeah.
They
Right?
do. No, I agree with that completely. I mean, it is so hard though. Like, it comes down to I think your point about like one taking a chance and taking that leap of trust and putting
Exactly.
budget into newer creators,
new ideas.
right?
And I mean, of course, we're talking about Bollywood, so how can we not talk about nepotism? It's basically the biggest angle
Yeah.
in Bollywood today.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think of it?
I think it
I think there's goods and bads,
adds
right?
to it.
Yeah,
Like we can't
Yeah.
deny some of the best actors and actresses and nepo babies, like Alia Bhatt.
Yeah.
yeah,
She's one of the finest actresses in the industry.
Ranbir.
Yeah.
yeah. Hrithik.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
more like the new generation where I'm just like, "Ugh, we need to stop now.
Yeah,
But it does depend, though. I will say this: like, first of all, nepotism happens in every industry, not
Exactly.
just Bollywood. It's
Yeah.
only because we see it at the forefront that we start to complain about it as an audience. I think it gives you your first, second, maybe third film. After that, I think it comes down to an audience. That's
Yeah.
my opinion, right? Like, I think. Fine, the opportunities can only go so far, and then eventually, if you don't have the talent, people will literally just be like, "Well, I'm not giving you a film because it's not going to do well in the box office."
It's like that Yash Chopra documentary where
Exactly.
what's
Uday
his
Chopra.
name?
yeah. He
Aditya Chopra said it about his own brother. He was like,
Yeah.
fine, like Uday Chopra got like Mohabbatein, he got like a
Doom,
Dhoom.
yeah.
But then after that, it was like,
If the
Charlie, you're not
audience
doing
don't
well.
like
yeah,
you,
then
like,
they're
you
not
know,
gonna
Yeah.
stick. But I'm thinking like going back to like back when it was like there before, like with Hrithik and stuff. I mean, I don't know if they had to work a bit harder back then, because there was more I mean, there is a lot more actors today, but
Yeah.
the competition might have been a bit more like tighter, especially because there's less jobs. Like there was less jobs because of obviously no streaming platforms and stuff.
It's not even though from a perspective of like just actors,
Yeah.
right? Like, you know, Aryan Mukherjee, he's either the cousin or I think he's the cousin of Kajol.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
So it's,
So it's
I
like
didn't know that.
yeah, there must be some Bollywood family tree someone's made. Like,
Exactly.
We'll
like,
choose him.
yeah.
So it even comes down to stuff like that in terms of, okay, have they been given the opportunity of assistant director to get trained up to then become a director? But then again, we can't sit here and go like, Aryan Mukherjee, what a naff
No.
director. Sorry, Ye Jawani Hai Diwani,
Yeah.
Wake Up Sid. We love his stuff, right? So I think it's
It's on the person, right? Like it
Yeah.
depends on like if they're willing to actually learn and not just sit and use someone else's name. Because you're right, it is going on in other industries, but like even in Indian cinema, like in like Telugu, Tamil, it's still happening. But I think when I look at it, I think when other people look at it, especially when it comes to Bollywood, we kind of like look down on it a lot more. But do you think is it because they are shown a lot more in the media, like in terms of like the way the press is and stuff?
I think it comes down to that thing where if we're seeing actors and actresses that aren't doing well when they're first launched into Bollywood. I know we spoke about Nadani a minute ago, but
I had high hopes for it.
Yeah.
Really?
I had high hopes.
I think we're more judgmental because we're seeing the acting capabilities and we're like, why were they given the chance over perhaps someone who's not a Nepo baby? And why are we giving them like 2-3 chances? Why aren't we auditioning people that are already they're already like amazing at what they're doing but just haven't got a chance to break through?
And going back to that, I think if you were to audition someone, you might like reduce the budget a little. Like if you look at certain aspects, like let's say Shah Rukh Khan's son, you know that you might have to charge him a bit more because he is Shah Rukh Khan's son. Whereas he's got that name, but like another actor, you probably can like work out like budgeting as well. And you never know, like the new actor you get could actually be a big deal. Like you just never know. But now you're going to make a list of 10 Bollywood movies everyone has to watch. So whoever's watching this, just make sure to save these team's films. So like what's some...
Don't say Viva. She's going to add it.
I mean, we can't. There's 10. There's room for 10.
Are we doing 10 each or 10 together?
No, just 10 together.
Wow.
Well, it's International Women's Day weekend.
Yes.
Natasha knows I love this film, but English will always be one of my favourites.
I think that's a good one, though, to be fair. I think it is very good.
It's so heartwarming.
Good social messages as well.
Sri Devi, like, insane actress.
Yes. Okay.
English.
We have to throw in a classic.
Yes.
So,
like
Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham.
Yeah, we can throw that one in.
I mean, you can't
Over
even...
Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. I would say Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham.
What about Kal Ho Na Ho?
Oh, so
no, really? Whoa. No, she was straight away.
Was my first like memory of Bollywood. I remember my Masi sending me
DDLJ.
Oh, guys, we can't let go. Shah Rukh Khan.
Shah Rukh Khan. Top 10. Just watch all Shah Rukh Khan's films. Should we go Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham?
Yeah, I don't think we can go Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. I'll tell you why.
Because it's
literally like Anjali, you're not pretty, or you're a tomboy. Now, Anjali, you're pretty, like, be my wife.
But then actually, I'm not going to spoil it. I was going to spoil it just there. But
do you know what I mean, though? I feel like...
Okay,
we had to pick.
Behind it
so Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham. What about 3 Idiots?
You know what? It's an amazing film, but it's just like everyone...
I think everyone knows about it at this point, right?
Okay, I'm going to write this down because we're going to forget.
Yeah, so we've got English.
You have to throw in one of yours now.
I don't want to put another Shah Rukh film in. All right, let me think.
I think Lapata Ladies
do you think?
An insane film.
I mean, out of the ones recently as well.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that as well.
Yeah.
But then can we do 12th Fail? Or is that like similar vibes? Which is better between Lapata Ladies and 12th Fail?
Hard.
In my opinion, it's 12th Fail if you had to pick. It's also hard though because I think Lapata Ladies had several social issues that were tackled, whereas 12th Fail had like fewer. But it was, for me, it was more heart-wrenching.
Yeah, I cried a lot.
What, in 12th Fail, really?
Yeah. That end scene, really broke
fell
my
to the ground.
Oh,
I was like,
I know, and everyone could like relate. I was thinking about like when I passed my GCSEs, and I was like, I feel you.
Oh my god!
Not the GCSEs.
You didn't even say A-levels or uni.
You like got into Birmingham, mate.
Okay, shall we swap it? 12 Fail then,
Go on.
yeah?
I need to watch that actually.
You have to.
I know, I need to, yeah.
It will make you cry.
Really?
Just send us a video of you
crying.
crying.
So we've got 4 now?
We've got English, K3G. Are we putting Kal Ho Na Ho, yeah?
Are we?
I think we have to.
And then...
do we put like...
Which one did we just talk about now? 12 Fail.
Yeah.
So that's 4.
I have got that.
Yeah, Giovanni. Yeah, which one out of the 2?
That's hard.
This is the thing.
I think, Giovanni, you know.
I don't know,
I was
actually.
going to vote Zindagi.
And
I'll tell you
the songs.
But then the songs in Zindagi were not bad.
Yeah, but they're not the same level.
You know, my friend has ruined Ye Giovanni a little bit for me recently.
Oh,
I love the movie. Only because it was a case of like, what? So she's removed her glasses, so she's pretty now.
Oh, it's another good...
Just me.
I know, yeah.
Exactly.
It's tough, but we have to pick one. We can't. I feel like they're too similar to.
Because then you could like add Dil Dana Ragna Dawn, so they're all 3 similar.
That's such a good one. I
I
think we need to throw that one in.
Okay, fine.
So which one out of the 3 are we doing?
Let's do Dil Dhadakne Do.
Okay, go on then.
And then I think we can let's for the moment add one between Ye Giovanni and Zindagi.
If we've got Dil Dana Ragna Do. Let's go Ye Giovanni then. What do you think?
Yeah, fine. Okay, let's put that down for the
moment. So we've got 6.
And then
what's like a niche? I feel like the ones that we have in this list, a lot of people
Oh no.
have seen these. So what's
Do
one?
we pick a horror comedy one? Because then that's
I
like...
can't talk about those because I refuse to watch Bollywood horror.
Whoa.
You need to give it a go.
You need
though.
to watch one.
I am a
You need-
true like Hollywood horror junkie.
Oh, okay.
So if I
Oh, no.
watch anything,
Yeah.
Oh, any Salman films that were good?
Oh.
Bajrangi Bhaijaan?
I love that film.
that's such a good
That
one.
one.
Yeah.
Or even is there any old school ones? Because like we've done
Ooh, old.
to it.
Like
I'm
I
not
love
as
a
well.
Hum Saath Saath Hai vibe.
I'm not that well versed with the older ones.
Oh, so like 90s, like I'm thinking, and then you'll know 80s.
Yeah.
Any 80s ones?
Well, I really love Chandani.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
We'll
fine.
go and put
Like,
one.
it puts
Mix
me
up the list.
Bollywood for
Okay.
me, yeah. I also
Yeah.
watched. I was telling you, I watched Silsila on the plane last
Yeah.
year.
What was that like?
That's a bit.
It was.
Oh
so-
yeah, based on true
yeah,
story.
Yeah,
Wow.
But yeah, when you know that, it makes the
Yeah.
film so much more interesting. It was actually a really good film. I think with old films because they're so long,
Yeah.
they get a bit
Yeah, because there's
boring,
like
right?
Mere Naam
Fine.
Joker and all of those.
Yeah.
Like my mom's been telling me to watch that. So
Mere Naam
Joker, yeah.
What's that one?
so it's got
Is it
like
old?
is it Ranbir Kapoor's granddad? And then Rishi
What's his
Kapoor's
name?
playing the kid, and you see the way he looks, man. Bless his soul.
Yeah.
Like it's a bit of a interesting story actually back then as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Need to watch that
All
one
right, I'll
then.
just give the general consent. So from what like the beginning, Rishi Kapoor plays a kid, and he basically likes his teacher. No, that's what it kind of
Do you
was
see
at
what
the
I mean
start.
though? Old movies are not innocent.
We were having this conversation the other day, right? Have you
Yeah.
ever seen Lumhe?
Yo, this
No,
was
but it's Anil
creepy.
Kapoor and Shri.
Yeah, so they fall in love, right? And then Sri Devi dies. She has a daughter before she dies who looks exactly
Oh,
like
no
Sri Devi.
way.
And Anil falls in love with the daughter. Like, how is that
the-
okay?
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
that's just a bit creepy.
Basically incest.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's
Game of
that's
Thrones.
not
Game of Thrones.
okay.
Honestly, awful.
Damn.
But I've just realised, speaking of old movies, we can't not have Sholay on
yeah,
there.
yeah, true. That's
Jazz don't.
whoa.
Have you actually
Yeah.
watched that film
Yeah.
like from
Not
start
from
to end?
no, I haven't seen it from start to finish.
I
though,
put it
but-
on
I
last
have.
Christmas, and guys, I was struggling to watch it from start
Why?
to end.
Jay and Vito, don't do this to me.
Wow.
So long.
What?
But-
I don't like action, right? Like I
Oh.
just don't enjoy it.
But then that's one everyone will know about as well.
Yeah,
I'll
and I feel like
probably
it's
get hate.
standard.
How
You'll
many-
get hated on
yeah.
that.
How many do we have at the moment?
Okay, guys, we've got English for English, K3G, Kal Ho Na Ho. We doing 12th fail, yeah?
Yeah, let's go.
12
Solid
fail.
list.
Dil Dhadkne Do, Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, Bajrangi Bhaijaan, Chandni,
Oh,
We
last
should-
Sholay.
one.
We can add always more and then cut whatever. But what about Taram Bum Bum?
Oh my god, stop.
Yeah, this is
Like,
one.
it was
Oh
the
my God,
whole,
we
like,
didn't mention it. The
that
whole
is
rom
the
The
rom
most
God.
heartbreaking. The bin scene.
Yeah. That's it. As soon as you knew,
I
bless
can't
him,
with
man,
that
champ.
one.
Champ. He was
Yeah.
a champ.
But that's such
Yeah.
like I reckon like we going back to the re-release quickly. Like
Yeah.
if that film re-released,
Nah, they.
it would have
I
it was
boycott
skyrocket.
that,
Like
yeah.
that's and it's a film that you no matter what. Like this is why I say
Yeah.
perks of cable TV. I'm not an OTT person,
Yeah.
but whenever it's on and you're downstairs doing nothing, you can just put it on. Like
Yeah.
So true.
leave it on. Like
Job we met.
Oh,
I
how
haven't
did we
seen
not include that?
Yeah.
go. So should we? Let's add those two and then we can cut
Okay,
some.
okay, fine.
Is there
We'll
any
say it's a list of 12.
Should we go through like actors though and realize if we're missing any of these
Yeah.
actors? Because I've just realized, do we have?
We got Shah Rukh, we got Seth, we got Salman, we've got no
We
Amir.
got good variety.
Oh, PK. If you want to put
Nah.
what? No way. Whoa.
Good, but it's not like a.
It's not this level, I don't think.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. What about?
You're like,
I was like, I liked it. I really liked
You're
it.
like heartbroken. You're like sorry.
And but what Amir film? Like I'm trying to think. That's
Like
topping the list. Like
an
Dangal.
old.
yeah,
that's
that
good
was
as
Dangal.
well.
like
But
did
then-
really well.
Or what about
Lagan.
Lagan? I haven't seen it from start to finish. Though.
I haven't either.
So it's a classic.
But
It's,
it's a cla-
good. But
That's actually really bad that I haven't.
What was the other one that tackles religion? Oh my god! Like that's a niche
a good
one.
one.
I didn't
But
watch that.
if you've watched it,
but I don't think it's top 10 though.
No,
Fine,
it's
like
not.
Paresh Rawal was good
Yeah,
in it.
yeah,
but,
yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's not definitely not top 10.
okay, like other. Oh, have we got Akshay Kumar? Sorry.
No, we don't.
Oh
yeah, we've
I'm
missed
not an Akshay
him.
Kumar fan.
Stop. Jazz,
Whoa,
I'm
really
what?
not.
Yeah, yeah. All right, it's ending, guys. Thanks.
I just
You're not
watched-
an Akshay Kumar fan?
Yeah. I
Whoa. What?
Just doesn't
Welcome,
do it for
Sing is
me,
King,
innit?
Namaste London.
Yeah, literally. Sing
oh, that
is
one's
king.
another one.
Namaste
being
London.
re-released.
Yeah, Namaste London is
Yeah.
gonna. Now, out of okay, we'll put one Akshay and then we're gonna cut
You
this
li-
list.
sorry, I'm like.
Have
no,
I?
it wasn't
Yeah,
top
you
10.
guys know about
What have you been
Disown Me.
Whoa! Out of Akshay's one, which
It depends, like, how old do we want to go as well?
Like the too far, you know, when he did that kind of
Yeah.
run, Sing is King, Welcome.
Exactly. He
But
did
out
the
of
whole-
those, it's hard.
Welcome.
Do you think?
Oh my God,
Welcome's quite
welcome.
fun. That's quite funny. Damn, which one? Which one are you thinking out of?
But he has a lot of like good social
Like
stories as well that he tells.
Kesari was a good one that he did
Yeah, that
after
was
as well.
good. But again, like top 10.
But then top 10 is like his older ones, isn't it?
It is 100%. Hirafiri.
I haven't seen that.
Guys, have
But-
you seen that?
But if that is the best
You
one,
have not seen Hirafiri.
if that is the best one out of all of them, literally
Oh
go
my God,
for
but
it.
the question is like Hirafiri or Hirafiri, like which one?
Is that the one where they're singing with
Yeah,
a
they're
little,
like,
and then the gorillas on the back with the drum? See, one of them- I think on TV, one of them came on the other day, so I was literally watching it for 5 minutes. I think it was the second one.
For 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it was at night time, bro. I was gonna go sleep. Should we go?
Guys.
Yeah, let's go with that. So we've got, what's it, 13 now?
Are we going to 15?
No, so we,
Or was it meant to be 10? Because why have we not got Veera Zara in there?
Oh.
but we've had the shower.
Yeah, but
So let's go to 15.
he's king
All
Khan
right,
for a
so
reason.
we said 10, but we're gonna go to
Okay,
15.
but then we have to pick, guys. We either do K3G Kalhona Ho or
No, we don't have to pick.
No,
We
we
do.
pick. We cut it down.
We don't have to pick.
We've cut it down. Via Zara,
Guys,
I
you're
think
like
I saw when
yourself.
I was a kid, so I haven't seen it since.
You're not a massive
Fan of Vizara, no. I'm just a bit like,
How many have we got? 15.
we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Should we just add 2 more?
Veera Zara has to be.
I know 15 is bad though. Okay, fine.
Fine,
If we-
we'll
let's
add
just-
it.
let's
Fine,
just
let's
two
add.
more
Let's add.
for the
Let's add.
moment.
Let's add Via
Yeah,
Zara.
I'll get
We've
upset
added
otherwise.
Vizara.
Fine, we'll add it.
Yeah.
I think we definitely should add a horror.
Street 2. Out of all of, or do you want to do Bulbulaya? See, I haven't seen the first,
I
but that's a
controversial,
remake.
But I
See,
prefer Street.
Street.
Street over.
But that was a remake, so let's not include.
True.
I think
Isn't it fine?
Street,
Bulbulaya is fine. Like number 1.
or the first one, or do you want
Yeah.
to do Street?
No, the first one is better. Oh, Street number
Oh,
1.
but Street 1 or 2? I think Street 2 was better.
Yeah, but Street 1 set the tone.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Fine. No, but Street 2.
Without Street 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but they explain what happens in Street 1 in Street 2.
Yeah, that song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
The puppet.
Does this really make the top 15 list though?
But it's different.
It's different. We're trying to be like variety.
Yes.
Have variety here. Okay,
Okay,
let's just
fine.
add it.
That's
For
the
the moment.
fine. That's the 15.
So do
We
you
need
want?
one more.
Oh, okay.
We got 14. Yeah. What's the old school one? Everyone's in the comments is gonna be like this
Old
one, this one. I'm
school,
sure
yeah,
they.
literally. Okay, we've hit the 80s, 90s. We've not
90s.
really hit, guys.
What about like an Agnipat? I haven't. I've seen
The
the
old or the
rem.
new?
See, I've seen the new one,
haven't
but
seen that film.
I wonder
I've
if they.
not
All,
seen
Who's in this?
Hita Kroshan was in the, or like Koil Mil Gya, or like we haven't done a
Koil
rich,
Mil Gya
or
was
like Doom
good.
2.
No, wait.
Oh.
I don't think Doom can go. in
I'm
the
trying to
top
add that
15,
diversity. Like we
yeah.
haven't done a hit trick.
I'm like, you're crazy, Keanu. Like, no. I think though, maybe like a Koi Milia is actually quite like different.
Yeah,
And also
Indian ET basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Koil Mil.
That film actually scared me as a child.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
What about like Ashwarya? Do you want
What,
to go down Devdas territory?
No,
or-
Devdas is not
typical, isn't
it's
it?
like
Yeah.
mid, 7 out of 10.
It was a scary film.
Which
if you
one?
really think of Mohabbat. She's a
Yeah.
ghost.
Bro, he's in love with a
That's
ghost.
She's in love with the ghost.
Yeah, that's actually.
Someone-
we were talking about this the other day.
Some of
right?
the memes, if you see one of the memes on this,
Oh my god.
yeah, he basically loves a ghost.
Yeah,
But then that we can't add that to
That's
the
actually a
list.
tragic film.
it is.
Do you want to go? Which one did we say earlier?
I'm thinking 90s though as well. Like, do we?
A Kilari or I don't know.
Should I look at Bollywood films from the 90s?
Yeah, do that.
Or not Bagban. That's a bit too.
I was literally just thinking Bagban, but that is a bit like me yahan tu wahan.
What else?
Bit scary. Bit upsetting.
Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam. I've never actually
I've
seen
not-
that film, but I love the
that was
songs.
like he was Italian in that film, Salman Khan, and I was like, no.
What the?
The accent's not doing it. He was literally Italian. It was awful.
I watched Dil Se this weekend. Has anyone seen
no,
that?
the
I
Shah
love
Rukh Khan
Shah
and
Rukh
Mish.
Khan.
It's
Manisha-
so bad.
Oh god.
Really? Is that Chaya Chaya?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Chaya Chaya.
What about like Ram Lakhan? Like an old. That's
I
like.
haven't
Anil
seen
Kapoor,
that.
we haven't.
Yeah, like
really.
Ram Lakhan's like one of.
But then we haven't with Karishma Kapoor and Govinda.
Oh, I haven't seen any of those.
Oh, that's like the 90s. That's Karishma.
I feel like this is your territory.
Yeah, go on
now.
then, Natasha. You pick the
This
last
is,
one.
okay, let's see like
Let's
the
go.
list. That is like
That was a really good film.
I like that.
Wait, that one's.
Yeah,
That's such a good film.
Is it top?
Oh, but that's Shah Rukh Khan, isn't it? So
But we can't. If it's that good,
Dil to Pagal Hai?
I don't think.
it's hard from the 90s.
Yeah.
Type in Karishma Kapoor.
BB number,
Movies, maybe?
I'm just throwing out names
Maybe number
now.
one.
It's charisma.
Oh, Charisma. Sorry, it's
what else?
Charisma, guys. Did you know this? Her name is Charisma Kapoor,
Really?
not Karishma. I'm literally so tempted to just say Hum Saath Saath Hai, guys.
Go on then. Let's
I
add that to the
am.
list.
You do you.
So instead of 10, we got 15. And Natasha, do you want to do the honors of reading them
I
out?
will. Here are the top 10 Bollywood films that we think you need to watch. Number 1, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. Number 2, Kal Ho Na Ho. Number 3, English Vinglish. Number 4, 12th Fail. Number 5, Dil Dhadakne Do. Number 6, Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. Number 7, Bajrangi Bhaijaan. Number 8, Chandni. Number 9, Jab We Met. And number 10, Veer Zara.
Oh, there we go. We finally got there. Now, to finish off, I did a Q&A question.
Okay.
So I asked, on my Instagram, and if you want to get involved, just make sure you follow me on Instagram as well. And I asked, what is your favorite Bollywood movie of all time and why? So the first one, someone wrote all SRK films, but maybe Dear Zindagi, as it was about mental issue, mental health, and important issue.
Yeah, it goes
can
back to what
understand
we were
that.
saying before, like Bollywood is offering a lot more variety
Yeah.
now. And it's nice, like in a world of Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gums, to also have those types of films as well. So I
Completely agree.
Also, it was nice to see Shah Rukh Khan like not as the romantic lover
yeah.
and actually playing, something a bit more age
Appropriate. Yeah, true.
Then the next one we have is Mohabbatan and Dil Ka Rishta.
I do not like Mohabbatan.
You don't like it?
The songs, amazing.
They are a bit long, the songs. They're like, on average, like 6-7 minutes.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
the only thing.
amazing. The story.
No, I liked it. It's my favorite. Like,
Nah, come
Shah Rukh.
on.
Is it? Okay, I do think it's a little bit like, oh God, she's a ghost. But I do like the film. And I think, again, for its time, it had a good social message because it was like, at that time, it was the
Yeah,
whole
I
thing
think
of,
maybe
if two people are in love, let them be in love. Like, it was reminding parents, prioritize your
Yeah.
kids' happiness.
Let them.
Yeah.
And, well, also, it's actually Taha Shah's favorite love film. When I
Is
asked
it?
him, yeah.
Oh,
That's another
that's
secret.
that.
And finally, the last one, of course, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, and because my favorite Bollywood actor is Hrithik Roshan. I mean,
Yeah,
Valid.
I think Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum defined
valid.
like our era of Bollywood.
Yeah. Well, my brother's
Completely.
name's Rahul as well. So.
Yeah.
But it's the
Nanta
age is the other way around. But thank you, both of you, for
thank
coming
you
on
so
today.
much.
It's
It
been
was so
actually so fun.
It has
Um,
been. We've like not stopped talking.
I know.
It's been so good
I can't
though.
believe an hour's gone so fast.
But
Literally.
make sure to check the Filmwaalis out on social media. Do you want to plug yourself?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're two girls from London who love all things Indian cinema. And we often give recommendations of what to do in London or just the UK as well. If you love Indian cinema too.
Yeah. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for future episodes. Boom.